The Saudi Crown Prince and the US President are also expected to discuss a possible nuclear energy deal. Mohammed bin Salman earlier said that Riyadh needed the option of pursuing a nuclear weapons program in order to counter Iran.
Saudi Arabia does not want to acquire any nuclear bomb. But without a doubt, if Iran developed a nuclear bomb, we will follow suit as soon as possible.
Now, plans for nuclear cooperation with the Saudis have caused alarm in the US Congress. A bill has been introduced which would force any countries in nuclear partnerships to renounce technology that could lead to the creation of atomic weaponry. It also requires a tougher approval process by Congress for civilian nuclear deals. Saudi Arabia has previously refused to sign any agreement with Washington that would prevent it from enriching uranium. Let's get some analysis of this now from Kamal Alam, who's a military analyst. Very good evening to you, Kamal. Members of the US Congress, they want to force the Saudis to renounce uranium enrichment, but can you see the Saudis ever agreeing to that?
I think it's highly unlikely because especially at the moment the Saudis are feeling very insecure about their security and in the past they simply have not signed most of the arms treaties that the US have asked them to, this despite being the largest buyer of American weapons in the world.
The Saudi Crown Prince said his country might need nuclear weapons in order to counter Iran. I mean, they made it conditional, but could it be a pretext?
Yes, the Saudis have always maintained that if the Iranians get a bomb, they will get it as well. Before the Saudis have not been interested in a nuclear bomb, to be fair to them, before the Iran question came up. However, as things stand in the region and with the Iran-Saudi rivalry, anything the Iranians do, the Saudis want a defensive mechanism. So they're probably just firing off the early shot, saying that we want some technology which could potentially lead to a bomb. So they're looking a few years ahead in case Iran gets it.
How would that affect the balance in the Middle East if the Saudis were to develop a nuclear arsenal?
Yeah, I think it'll completely upset the balance because obviously at the moment, apart from Israel, and even Israel don't declare it publicly, there are no nuclear weapons or major weapons. So if the Saudis go for it, then of course the UAE might go for it and the Egyptians might go for it. The Egyptians have already been working on a nuclear plant, and the UAE as well, along with the South Koreans. So it definitely upsets the balance completely. And even Iran, who at the moment have declared they don't want any weapons, their nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, as they say it, this kind of statement coming up from Saudi Arabia also does not argue well for Iran.
If Saudi Arabia did decide to go ahead and build nuclear weaponry, who could stop them? Could the US do anything to stop them?
Well, you would think that the US could do something to stop them, but in the past the US have sold them all kinds of weapons that the Saudis have used, especially in Yemen, despite loads of international organizations calling for a ban on them. The Americans don't normally have many issues with Saudis using all kinds of weapons, whether it's in Yemen or for the domestic use as well, to suppress people. So it's still early, but I've got a feeling that the Americans will not really mind it, especially given the close alliance between the two states, and as I said, that the Saudis depend wholly on the US for their protection.
Thanks for your time, Kamal. My guest, military analyst Kamal Alam.